Okay, think about where we were last year during surge. During surge, we were losing thousands of people a day. When we rolled out the vaccine, all of a sudden we saw this huge drop in new cases. If we had waited for full approval, which I appreciate people may want to wait for, they want to see the long-term follow-up data, they want to see all of the adverse events in tables, etc., and they want that full committee approval of every shred of data. I appreciate that. But as a scientist and a clinician, I think about all the people that would have died waiting for that full approval. So I'm glad that we've had both. I'm glad we've had the EUA approval, so all of those who were anxious could get their vaccine. And now we'll have the full approval. So the rest of the people who wanted to wait for that long-term safety data, the long-term immune response data, even the long-term contagious data, they will have it as well.
Now, I know Moderna became the latest vaccine maker to, apply for the full approval, but we're still waiting for Pfizer. They asked in early May to get this approval in 16 and up. When can we expect that to actually happen? And I would imagine there's a lot of data to go through, but when can we expect it?
Well, think about the amount of information that we needed for the EUA approval. It was perhaps one or two phone books size worth of data. And I say that sort of, jokingly. The full EUA approval would be equivalent to an encyclopedia of data. And the amount of stuff that has to be collected, codified, submitted to the FDA, and then reviewed. And remember, the FDA is reviewing this data with a microscope. They're not just going, oh yeah, I saw this before, okay, fine, it looks good. They're looking at every line of data. In addition to the data, they're also sending inspectors to every place any of the vaccine or its components are being made as well. So they're flying around the world looking where are the vials made, where are the stoppers made, where's the vaccine being produced, how is it being labeled. All of that takes time. And we have to allow the FDA the time to look at every scrap of data, make every inspection, come back, and then talk about it as a committee. They're doing their job, they're doing it right, and we will be smarter and better for it.
So with this full approval, it would then allow the vaccine makers to market their shots directly, maybe help companies or government agencies that are looking for vaccination in their employees. Once it reaches that threshold, right, and gets that full approval, it does change a lot about this shot.
I think it changes the landscape because it's going to be hard to say the vaccine is fully approved, yet you can't make it mandatory, or you make it compulsory, or you're saying if you don't get a vaccine, you must wear a mask the entire time you're in the office. Once it's fully approved, the landscape for every business, every institution changes because you can't get by and say, well, it's not yet approved, I'm not ready for it. It really changes that landscape. And for people that were vaccine hesitant, that actually want that full approval, they will be able to know that the data has been submitted and reviewed.